So a lot of people talk about us living in a golden age of documentaries. There's more distributors, more buyers, more viewers than ever, and the viewers are getting younger. That's good for me because I just finished my first feature-length documentary film called Minding the Gap, and people are actually watching it. I've lived in Chicago for 10 years, and before that, growing up, I didn't, being a documentary filmmaker, being a filmmaker didn't seem like a viable option. The city where I grew up in was Rockford, Illinois. That's where Minding the Gap takes place in. There's a couple of Rockford fans out there. And it's 90 miles west of Chicago, but it feels a little further than that. There's a lot of cornfields you have to drive through before you get there. And people that know Rockford know that it makes the worst lists: highest unemployment, highest rates of violence, highest property taxes. Forbes magazine in 2013 called it the most miserable city to live in America. Michael Moore actually came out and did a Forbes magazine burning. Michael Moore, purveyor of Rust Belt cities, and the pride that it means to live in. And in a sense, I think people got behind him because it doesn't feel miserable to live in a city like this, that makes all these worst lists. It can't. It would be exhausting. Like from firsthand experience, growing up in a city like Rockford, you feel the full range of emotions that we all feel in life and in living it. But that's not to say that people understand that their community needs fixing, and there can be progress, and there's a lot of work to do. And so there's sort of a tension there between wanting to make your community a better place and feeling like you and your life matters outside of that community. That's the divide that I'm interested in. I think us as filmmakers, we can try to get at that. We can try to bridge that gap. We can try to create osmosis. And in creating shared experiences, and if we do it right in storytelling, it's undeniable. So that's the weight on our shoulders, and I think that's the future of documentary filmmaking in the field. Thank you.